Hello, hello! Joy Peddler Games here. Wanted to make a quick video because it has come to my attention that I don't have an instructional video for Harper's Quest, our first pocket dungeon crawl adventure. So I wanted to make this so that I can show you the gameplay and you can learn how to use it, learn some of the rules. First thing you're going to need is a copy of Harper's Quest. It can be printed out on a single piece of paper and folded. There is a link to the unfolding instructions down below. You're also going to need, and this is very important, the character sheet. The character sheet actually gives you vital information to play the game. On the other side of the character sheet, separate piece of paper, are some additional rules that will help you figure out what to do and how to play the game. This is a procedurally generated solo RPG dungeon crawl. It uses some old school revival type light rules. You do create a character. I'm going to use some miniatures. For our game, we're going to use this little witch doctor as an underling. I'm sorry, a warrior. And we're going to use this guy as an underling, a little kobold. And our adventurer today is going to be this fearless knight with his mace. So the first thing you do to set up a Harper's Game quest is you roll 2d6 for the number of rooms, plus 1 for where the boss room is going to be. So let's go ahead and do that. 7-room dungeon. See that? There you go. So we are going to have a 7-room dungeon, and what I like to do at that point is mark on the character sheet where the end of the dungeon is going to be. So our 7th room. Next on the setup is going to be rolling 4d6 and subtracting the lowest number for our AC and our hit points. And then the same for our attributes and saves. Finally, we're going to roll 3d6 for our starting gold. Alright, we rolled our character up. We got some pretty sweet stats. Super high strength, moderately high dexterity, well, pretty middling dexterity, and low intelligence. Sounds good for our dashing hero, the knight. Very strong, not so smart. We are ready for Norman to enter the dungeon. He's got his gold, he's got his 13 hit points, he's feeling good, he's got his stats rolled. Let's do it. For each room, you're going to be rolling to see if there's an encounter, if there's a feature. Once you've resolved both of those, you can use the door. These are all located on the character sheet as well, so if you don't want to flip back and forth, they're right there on the character sheet. We're going to be using 2d6 to determine if there are encounters or features, just for a more intense experience. If you want, you can use a d10 for a more casual experience. First room we go. We get a 4 on the encounter roll, which means there is no encounter. Feature, a 5, so no feature on that. First room, nice little easy entryway, and our friend Norman continues on, and he encounters a door. Again, doors, you determine what they are using a d12 as you enter each new room. We've got our tiny little d12 here that I missed. What do we get? A 4. A 4 on the door chart is open. Onward he goes into the next room. Same thing here, encounter, feature, then your door. Encounter, we get a 7, so nope, we're looking for 8 or more. Feature, 9, so there is absolutely a feature here. So we will be rolling on the feature table using a d12. So we get an 11, which gives us an ale cask. 2 ales, which raises your AC plus 1. but it takes your max HP down 1 per drink, which lasts 2 encounters. So luckily, we have our ale cask right here. So our friend Norman can grab himself a drink from the ale cask. And I think it probably is worth using 1 ale right now. The character sheet does have a place for you to track your inventory. You can just mark it with little X's. So we are given 2 ales, I believe. Yep, 2 ales. But I'm going to use 1 right now. You can use items at any time. And so what this will do is it'll raise our AC +1, but it takes our HP down to 12. So our AC is now 17, and our HP is 12. This lasts 2 encounters, which I think is well worth it to do during this game. Ale is probably one of the better items that you can get. So since we've resolved that feature, we are now able to take a look at the door that leads out to the next room. Again, roll d12 for the door, and we get a 1. 1 is open. Thank you, ale cask, and into the next area we enter. Okay, as Norman enters room number 3, roll for an encounter. In 8 or more, we get 1. We rolled 9, so when you get an encounter, you then roll on the encounter table using a d12. Find our mini d12, and we roll an 11, which is an underling, 10 AC, 3 hit points, but does 3 damage per hit. The character sheet has an encounter tracker, which I think is very helpful. So you put that in there, and then you can draw the hit points down as you progress through. Now, one mechanic we introduced in our second game, Castle of Kronos, was blade locking, which you roll 2 d20 for each, 2 d20 total if there's 2 for each combatant, and if the numbers are within 1, you are blade locked. So your weapons hit each other and you are forcing sort of a standoff there. And then you roll 1d6 if that blade lock occurs for each combatant, and with the highest kind of winning that standoff. So I like playing that way. It makes it a little more action-packed. So for this game, we're gonna be this blue d20. Enemy will be the gray d20. So we are fighting our underling, which for this game is this little kobold with our spear. Alright, so we rolled a 13, which his AC is a 10. When you are rolling combat for this, you roll a d20. If your roll is greater than the monster's AC, it's a hit. So anything higher than a 10 on a d20 is going to be a hit for us. We rolled a 13. Kobold rolled a 3, so that is a hit. Damage, when you're playing Harper's Quest, can vary depending on the difficulty you want to play. If you want it to be an easier game, roll a d12, normal a d8, hard d6. Let's just go with normal. So I'll roll my d8 for damage. 4. He's got 3, so that wipes him out in one go. So we swung our mace over his spear thrust right into his skull. Blood spatters and brain material right on the wall, right there. Okay, we completed that. Once you complete an encounter, you are able to roll on the treasure table. You roll a d6 to determine the size of the treasure, then you roll a number of d6, corresponding number of d6 to determine the actual gold. So we rolled a 6 for the treasure, which is a vast treasure. We're going to roll 4d6 to see how much gold we get. 7, 9, 1,330 gold, which brings our total up to 240. We're rich. Nice. Okay, now we check to see if there's a feature in here. A 9. There is a feature. Feature occurs if there's a 7 or higher, so let's roll a d12 for the feature. We got an 11. 11 is another ale cask. Yes. It's right there already. Perfect. Let's fill up some cups. And we get 2 more ales. Now you might be asking, can we drink all 3, get our AC up to 20? Absolutely you can. Be a little drunk, but you'd pretty much be invincible. Should we do it? We're only in room 3. Let's do it! We're gonna drink all of our ale. Get our armor class to 20. And our total hit points to 9. Because drinking alcohol can shorten your lifespan. But hey, we're feeling good, and it lasts for 2 encounters. Remember that. So that feature is resolved. We're on to the door. Let's see what we got by rolling a d12. And we get a 1 for the door, which is an open door. We are now in room 4, so we're a little more than halfway through our 7-room dungeon. Room 4 is a big area. As we enter, what do we smell? Anything? Wafting fumes of sewage. Oh no. And a grimy floor. Yikes. Maybe it's a lower level sewer. Let's see if there's an encounter. A 6. So no encounter here. Is there a feature? An 8. There is a feature. Using our trusty mini d12. We get a 12 on the feature, which for this game is a trap door. You need to save versus intelligence. If you fail, you go back 1 room. So our intelligence is low. Come on, low number. 11. Fantastic. Jump back a room. Is there an encounter? 5 and a 5. Oh, there's an encounter. Let's see what we got. An 11. An encounter. And number 11 is a 10 and a 3 and a 3. Luckily, we've been drinking, so our armor class is 20. I doubt that they're going to be able to beat us here, but the kobold's back because we had to get sent back to a room. Let's see. Remember, we're the blue. Enemies are the gray. So this is why we added this mechanic into the Harper's Quest system, the blade lock mechanic. I think it's super fun. When you roll within 1 of the d20, they are now blade locked. So we will roll 2d6 for this. I'm going to be the blue. Enemy will be green. Highest wins the standoff. All right, he wins the standoff, so he is able to hit me. Since this is an 11, this underling does 3 damage, which unfortunately takes my weak health down to 6. Maybe drinking wasn't such a good idea. Okay, next round of combat. He rolls a 4, which definitely is not a hit. Because again, you are looking to roll greater than the monster's armor class. And vice versa for them, so they're looking to, he has to roll a 20, which is never going to happen. We rolled a 12, which is above his armor class. We roll our d8, our mace swings, we get a 3. So luckily, even though we took some damage, our mace is again able to defeat the kobold. His guts splatter all over the walls again, since this is the same room basically. And now we roll to see if there's going to be anything in this room, since the kobold charged us. And we get a 10, so yes, there is something in this room. We roll a 5. Grappling hook. So grappling hook is actually a really good item. You can use it once, and if you pass your dexterity check, the enemy has half of its armor class for 1d6 rounds. And if you are unable to do it, you just lose the grappling hook. So I'm going to keep that grappling hook handy, just in case we run into anyone else, because we are low on health. Okay, let's try this door again, since this is the second time in this room. We get a 6. Open. Fantastic. All right, now we're back into the big room. And what do we got here? Encounter. 7, no encounter. We were looking for 8 or more. A feature. an 8. So there is a feature. So let's see what is in this room. We rolled a 2 on the feature table, which is in a jar sarcophagus. We can either get a poison bomb or a healing potion. Because I'm pretty weak, I'm going to grab the healing potion, which does 1d10 of healing. And yep, let's just put the sarcophagus right there. Because we love scatter terrain. Let's check what the door is leading out of this room. A 2. A 2 on the door table is a trapped door. We need to roll a dexterity check, and if we fail, we take 1d3 damage. So maybe some spikes come down from the ceiling when we try and open this door. Let's go with that. Let's see if we can hop out of the way by diving and rolling a 10 or less. For dexterity check, you need to roll below your ability score. 2! Excellent. We are able to successfully dodge that. We are now entered room number 5. Encounter check. 6. No encounter there. Feature check. 10. There is a feature. Features add a lot of variety to the game. They're one of my favorite parts. We get a 1 on that feature, which is an unlit torch. Ooh. What does that mean? Let's head up the stairs to the door. We get a 9 on that door, and that is an open door. Excellent. We carry on through the dungeon. All right, as we enter this room, let's see, what do we smell? I like to just read these out. We smell the elderly. Yikes. I think we all know that smell. Is there an encounter? No, snake eyes on that. Nothing. Is there a feature? There is a feature. 8. On our feature table, an 8 is an NPC item shop. Finally, we can use our gold. We have 240. We can buy anything here. I'm going to go with a strength potion and a healing potion. We are stocked up. We're going to be ready for that boss once we get there. We're down to 40 gold, but that's okay. All right, we head down the stairs to the next door. 4. 4. Open door. All right, so let's see what we got. Is there going to be an encounter in this last room? No encounter. We rolled a 6. Is there going to be a feature? No feature. We rolled a 4. Quick hallway before we get to the boss room. So now we are going to be in the boss room. We have entered the boss room. When you enter a boss room in Harper's Quest, you need to roll the boss's weakness. So roll a d12, and that will give you any weaknesses that that boss might have. Same thing here, we're going to be rolling simultaneous d20s. We are the blue. Boss is the gray. So that is a miss on both of our counts. We continue the dance. Luckily, our ale is still in effect. So we still have 20 armor class, but only 6 hit points. 2 misses in a row. Aha, so this is now, we are in blade lock. So we are now able to see who can win that blade lock. We're going to be the blue. Boss will be the green. So he wins that. And we said his damage was a d8. We probably should have healed before this fight. That's a mistake. Well, let's see. Hopefully he doesn't kill us in one blow. And he gets a 7. I got too cocky. He takes us down in one swipe because I forgot to use a healing potion. And that's why you go through these dungeons a little bit slower. Oh, that's disappointing. The crystals get guarded for another day. This is actually contemplated. If you fail, your next generation avenges you. Your next generation inherits half of your gold, all your heirlooms, and one additional item. Next generation is going to inherit healing potion and 20 gold. Maybe that way I'll be able to be a smarter hero. Norman, your big disappointment. I think we know why. Low intelligence. That is Harper's Quest. It is a solo dungeon crawler. I hope you thought this looked pretty fun. It's a great way to kill some time. If you are not able to get with your group, we have an adventure for Harper's Quest called Castle of Kronos, which uses time-based magic. And we also have some other games. Check us out at Joy Peddler Games on Twitter. Thank you. Have a great day.